We are floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingmen Show, where we're floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingmen Show. My name is Commander Drew Brown. My wingman, my friend, the guy who always watches my six, is my main man, Dr. Paul Thompson. What's up, Brother Paul? How you doing today?
Hello, Commander Drew. I'm doing very, very well. It's good to see you again, as always. And when you say you're two badass jet pilots, I always kind of smile to myself because I never thought about it that way. I always smile. But I'm looking at what's going on behind you, and I see these A6s flying around each other with smoke coming out. And I guess I guess those must be badass jet AI pilots.
100% AI badass pilots, and they're not dropping anything but smoke, if you know what I'm saying. Let's start this puppy up with a good quote. Opportunities to find deeper powers within ourselves come when life seems most challenging. And that's by Joseph Campbell. One more time. Opportunities to find deeper powers within ourselves come when life seems most challenging. And, you know, I make negatives into positives. And it seems whenever I had hard times, and I'm sure you too, what do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I agree. You know, sometimes when things get really, really tight, you have to dig down deep to get through them. And dig it down deep, you may discover some things about yourself and other people in other situations that'll benefit you in the future that you wouldn't have otherwise.
100%. I'm telling you, when times of struggle are times of growth proportionally. And that's in the 11 facts in life. Well, I'm out here on the ocean, as you can see, and we have the Scarlet Lady from Virgin Voyages underneath me, and I have two crazy jets just blowing smoke. But I want to thank Virgin Voyages and Richard Branson for the way they've been treating the Wingman Show. They've just been treating me really good. I appreciate it. And, you know, it's coming from the greatest cruise ship in the world. Guess what happened today, Dr. Paul?
Oh, what happened?
Well, they closed all the decks because one of the passengers got really sick and they had to bring a helicopter in. And for all our YouTube, Instagram watchers or TikTok watchers, I'm going to put that picture up of the helicopter. And they actually took this person from the ship. They pulled them up into the helicopter and took them off to a hospital. I'll tell you what, Virgin Voyages does it right. They take care of their passengers. And God forbid there's an emergency. I'm not worried because this cruise line will take care of you. I really want to say thank you one more time to Virgin Voyages. Great cruise line and great people who work on this ship. And that's probably what makes it so special. They're diversified, they have a great attitude, and there's just a certain feeling on this ship. So thanks again, Virgin Voyages.
Well, Commander Drew, I have a couple quick questions if I can. Yeah, when they pulled the jet, I don't know if it was a male or female that was pulled up, but they put him in a stretcher or was he in a harness, or how did they get him from the deck?
Well, I have to tell you the truth. We weren't able to see it. The
Uh,
picture that you're going to see, the chopper's off to the side of the ship. I wasn't actually able, nobody was able to go up there to see how they actually got him up. I know that they got him up and they flew away to safety.
okay, well, that's good. I have another quick question. I see the Scarlet Lady in the background behind the A6s. I see your cap, your Yankees guy, but this Black Yankees T-shirt, what's that about?
Well, first of all, the Cap, they're both from the Negro League, and they had a team in New York called the Black Yankees when black guys couldn't play in the major leagues. So I am honoring our Negro leagues, and this is a special cap. This is the cap that they actually wore during the Negro League. And I'll tell you what, I'm really proud of those guys, and they made it possible for people like you and I to become really successful in this country.
Yeah, I guess someone's got to start.
No doubt about it. Well, I want to tell you what I did in Casablanca. I went to a hammam. Have you ever heard of a hammam?
Just recently, I saw some
Because a
pictures.
hammam is where I got a wonderful massage. They gave me a chocolate mud bath. It was incredible. The guy gave massage with oils, and then we went to a steam room, a sauna. It was absolutely fantastic. I felt like a new person. And I'm going to put the picture up of the hammam that we went to in Casablanca. So I didn't see Humphrey Bogart, but I got a great massage and a great, great mud bath, and I smelled like chocolate a little bit.
Wow. So
But
was
let's
it? Is it
start off with
was
some
is it
good
is it
news.
is it
What
is
if
it
I
co-ed?
told you, Dr. Paul, that you and I always talk about exercise and how good exercise is? Well, there's something called backward walking, and it's also known as retro walking or reverse walking. Walking backward can add to the benefits, reverse locomotion that can increase hamstring flexibility, strengthen underused muscles, and challenges the mind as the body adjusts to a new movement and posture. And they got a Disney movie production lawyer who is on a singular quest to break the world record for the fastest backwards running marathon. His name is Zitominsky, and he's 33 years old, but he's called the backwards guy on social media. And I did a hit class today on the ship. And guess what? There was a walking part or a running part. And guess what, Paul? I did it backwards.
Really? Yeah, I did some of that today myself. Slow, not a long time, but I've heard that about going backward. My daughter was telling me about that. I've done that a few times, and it's different. And my benefit, I find it takes pressure off my knees, and I can get a nice workout that way.
That's very true. My knees were, I have bad knees like you do. I guess you get a little time on planet, the knees start going, the shoulders start going, and you got to take care of the muscles around them. But yes, it did not hurt my knees at all walking backwards, actually.
Mhm.
All right, how about this good news? What if you were in TCU, the Texas Christian University, and you were a medical student? And all of a sudden, I told you that your spring semester was free because somebody gave an anonymous $1.8 million gift. How cool is that, Dr. Paul?
That's a great deal because I think the a medical school place like that probably runs close to what 90 grand a year.
Easy.
So if someone paid for a week of free classes, that would help you.
Well, I think that's good news that needs to be spread. And whoever the anonymous donor was, thank you very much for helping our students. And I got some more good news for you. What about life changing eye implants? They help blind patients read again. There's something called age related molecular degeneration, AMD, which affects more than 250,000 people in the UK and 5 million worldwide. So, this new procedure involves inserting a tiny 2 millimeter square photovoltaic microchip with the thickness of a human hair under the retina. Patients then put on glasses with a built in video camera. The implant at the back of the eye sends messages to them in a small pocket processor that the person holds, and it enhances their vision and makes it clearer. What about that medical miracle, Paul?
Yeah, I read about that. Yeah, you could molecular. Dry eye. I've seen ads for it for different things, medications over the years, but not a cure for it. And what are those? Are those glasses I have to wear all the time? Do you know?
Just in order to see, yes, you have to wear them, and you have to actually hold. There's a something you got to put in your pocket that helps it.
Okay. Okay. Once again, computers helping us out. Basically, you get an imprint in your eye, and it sends a signal to the glasses. The glass go back to the eye, and it clears it up for you. You're kind of a man or person and machine altogether.
Well, Paul, here's some other news, and I don't want to just call it good, but this is something that people need to know. Our country's going through some real changes right now, and I think this is very important. What if I told you, Dr. Paul, that 28% of US adults scored a level 1 or below in literacy, meaning that they're almost illiterate, and 54% have a sixth grade or under reading level? And those are the people that are voting today. You know, education, you and I push it, push it, push it, because education is your way out of poverty. Education is our way into technology. Our education is our way into a healthier and better future. And yet, it looks like 54% of Americans are not very educated. What do you think, Paul?
I think it's one of many alarm bells going off. You say 28%. That's almost a third of the population, the adult population. And this is a big country. America's a big country, so you're talking about a lot of people. Yeah, education is very important, and a lot of the education is not going to be entertaining. And I can't think of anything more important than reading now and then. You've got to read. But what we do is seem to watch a lot of videos, maybe like the ones our fans are watching, where you really need to I believe you need to pick up a book or a Kindle or something and put something in your head that's not just entertainment all the time.
I agree. And, you know, believe it or not, I heard libraries are coming back. I heard bookstores are coming back. And I heard books are coming back. And, you know, with AI and students, they're actually starting to make students handwrite their papers, which I think is excellent. You can't use AI for that, can you, Paul?
No, yeah, and it's like to an older person, like, you shrug your shoulders, which is fine. You can't AI your right. Yeah, you're gonna have that. You may have oral exams too, like your old FAA exams. Somebody would ask you these questions and, out of maybe 10,000 possible things, and you had to study up on a lot of stuff and hope the things you studied for which you're being tested on. Required a lot of more active thinking than just quick memorization and turning a phrase, as they say.
Well, you know, you brought a memory back. That's 100%. Right. We took an oral exam for the FAA, and that means somebody's standing or sitting in front of you asking you questions, and you have to answer those questions correctly. You can't cheat. There's nothing to look at. It has to be in your brain. So people are trying to change that. What if I told you in New Mexico, they just made childcare free and it's lifted 120,000 people above the poverty line? Also, in New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy, he just signed legislation that will expand free preschool in New Jersey as well as full day kindergarten. And that's what we have to do. We have to educate our young people because they grow up to be older people and smart people who vote. And voting is the most important thing we can do in this country to keep our democracy. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. And the child care takes an immense burden off of people. Our children are grown and are grown up people. But if you looked at the cost of childcare now, you could finance maybe a couple cyber trucks for what it costs to childcare for a couple young kids. It's a lot. I'm not exaggerating that. It's that much. So,
Yeah, you know, in the article from New Mexico, there was a family who paid $800 a month for childcare,
mhm.
and the mother had to drop out of college because she could not afford it anymore. Well, since this program came in, she's gone back to college and she's now going to nursing school. So her and her husband can now actually get out of that poverty level and actually become much more productive.
Yeah, great for them. So if it's $800 in New Mexico, what do you think it is in Manhattan?
Oh my goodness. Wow. It's got to be a couple of grand a month. Easy.
Yep.
All right, everybody. If you check out these badass jets we got behind us, behind Dr. Paul, he has something called an F-86 Sabre. Dr. Paul, you want to tell him a little bit about that airplane?
Yeah, the F-86 Sabre came out. It was produced in the late '40s really at the end of World War II, after World War II, but it didn't really fly in combat until in the Korean War, and it was very effective against the MiG-15s. They were comparable airplanes. They did very well. And maybe I'll show you a picture. They exported them to a number of countries, and I got a photo of a world record set by Pakistan had had like a dozen F-86s doing the loop. It's not a great picture, but it was a popular airplane. They got rid of it at the end of the 1950s. There are a few flying today, usually as in air shows and privately owned. People have a lot of money and they'll fly one around. I saw one time. Makes a lot of noise. Looks cool.
Well, that's United States Air Force airplanes too, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that was all U.S. Air Force. The Navy had something similar, but it was called the Fury. Didn't work very well on aircraft carriers.
Oh wow. All right. Well, we'll show that. How many airplanes did you say did a loop?
I think it was it 12 or 14 or something. Well, maybe more. But I think no, I think it was 16 airplanes. They did a formation loop. This is in the Pakistani Air Force.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, you can see behind me, I have something AI generated. Actually, they're flying over the Canary Islands. And Dr. Paul asked me, are there any canaries on the Canary Islands? And I didn't see a one. But that's where Scarlet Lady just took me to the Canary Islands. And I have my jets doing some crazy stuff because we like to promote AI. AI is the new technology that can really help you if you know how to use it. It's really incredible. Thank you, everybody out there, for supporting the Wingman Show. Everybody listening to us on Apple Podcasts or watching us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and all the other platforms. Thank you so much for your support. We truly appreciate it. We have a newsletter, and this week, our newsletter is how to choose a first or second career. And how you get that newsletter is on our website. And our website is wingmenshow.com. That's wingmenshow.com. WINGMEN show.com. And also on that website, we have something called the Frequent Flowline. So I'm going to bring our other wingman, Ace, into the picture. Hey, Ace, how you doing today?
Hey there, I'm doing great and ready to help out with whatever you need. Hope you're having a good day too.
We're having a great day. Well, we want to read you a letter that came into us on the Frequent Flow line, and we'd love to have your answer on this. All right, the letter says, Dear Commander Brown, Dr. Paul, and Ace, aloha from Honolulu. I just wanted to say how much I enjoy the Wingman Show. You guys are funny, real, and full of great advice. I'm a senior in high school, and it's getting close to the time when I have to decide what I want to do with my life. The thing is, I honestly have no idea. My grades are pretty good. I love surfing, and I want to be somebody one day, maybe even something cool like you guys are. But I just don't know which direction to take. I was hoping you'd give me some advice on how to figure out what I really want to do, or at least how to start figuring it out. Mahalo for all the inspiration, motivation, and good energy you share every week. A high school surfer from Honolulu, Hawaii. Ace, would you like to talk to our high school surfer?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. And aloha to our high school surfer friend out in Honolulu. First of all, it's awesome that you're thinking ahead and reaching out for advice. Honestly, not knowing exactly what you want to do yet is totally normal. Lots of people feel the same way at your age. My advice is to explore a little bit of everything that interests you. If you love surfing, maybe think about what else excites you, whether it's something related to sports, maybe something creative, or even something totally different. Try out different classes, talk to people in different fields, and see what clicks. Remember, you don't have to have it all figured out right away. The journey of discovering what you love is part of the fun. And hey, you're already showing the kind of initiative and curiosity that'll take you far. So just keep riding that wave and you'll find your direction.
Thanks, Ace. Dr. Paul, do you have an opinion on this?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you for asking the question from Hawaii. You love surfing. That's good. I'm not a surfer. I don't know if there are a lot of careers available in surfing. So I would encourage you, you're a high school senior, you should be looking for college. You say you're not sure what you want to do. This is a good time to try. This is a good time to get a higher education, major in something, and look at what's around you. You can get a lot of good information actually, like right now, through high school recruiters, college recruiters. Check with your counselors, your school counselors, to get people ready to go to the next level. There are a lot of things you may doing. You know, if you're looking at us, you're looking at things that are aviation related. That's our background. That's my strong suit. But I wouldn't have been able to do anything had I not had a college education of some type or some kind of training. So just get in your mind that you're going to be in some kind of training, learning something, maybe not what you're already good at, but you're going to have to expand your horizons a bit and see what else is out there. There are a lot of things, and there's a lot of shortages in critical areas that nobody wants to go to, and maybe it's too hard. You're not used to working. So get used to education, get used to studying, and it'll pay off for you in the future.
That's great advice, Dr. Paul. Well, Honolulu, Hawaii. First, let me say Dr. Drew had to do his internship in Honolulu, Hawaii, and he started surfing. So he loves surfing. And of course, me as being his dad, I had to go visit him a lot just to make sure he was doing good. But the truth is, there should be no question about you finding a university. First of all, your first year in a university is very basic, and I would encourage you to do something with STEM, and that's science, technology, engineering, and math. And that's where most of the jobs are going to come from. But you have this first year in college, and college should not be a choice. You have to go to college. You know, I had a choice. My dad gave me college or death. I picked college. But you should go to college that first year. Look around, see what other people are doing, and try something. And don't forget, try something. If you don't like it, you can try something else. But definitely, my man, go to college. All right, now it's time for Wingman PSA. From the 11 facts in life, on the fact number 10, NCZA, and that means no competition, zero aggravation. Once again, no competition, zero aggravation, and that's how you can have a good relationship. And it stays healthy when you don't try to always compete with whoever your friend is, or your wife, or your partner. When they do something good, you don't have to come back right then and there and say, you do something better. Matter of fact, I'm with a really cool British helicopter pilot. He lives in Scotland, but he told me that it's called two sheds. And I was like, what is two sheds? And he said, well, when people talk about building a shed, the people they're talking to, they have to say, well, I have two sheds. So you don't have to be better than the people that you're talking to. Give everybody a little bit of encouragement and don't try to always up them. That's called one-upmanship. All right, let's get back to Ace and the gouge. And you know what the gouge is? The gouge is shit in the Navy that people need to know, but sometimes nobody tells you. So, Ace, I want to come to you. I need some gouge. And why don't you tell me some gouge about currency if you're traveling overseas?
Absolutely. Let's talk some travel couch. So if you're heading overseas and dealing with currency, one key piece of couch is to keep an eye on exchange rates before you go. Sometimes it's cheaper to exchange a bit of cash at your home bank before you leave rather than doing it at the airport or when you arrive. Another pizza gouge, using a credit card with no foreign transaction fees can save you some money. And lastly, it's always a good idea to have a little local cash on hand for small purchases, tips, or places that might not take cards. So there's your travel currency gouge. Just a few things to keep in mind to make your trip smoother.
That's great, Ace. Thank you so much for that. Dr. Paul and I have been very, very fortunate to travel all over the world. And one thing about your cash, always go to a bank ATM. Don't do it in the airport. Those are like pickpockets. They just take your money. Go to a bank ATM to always exchange cash. What do you think, Dr. Paul?
Yeah, that's what I used, ATMs at banks for the most part. And I've done cash machines too a few times. I rarely ever did anything at an airport. There are, ATMs are ubiquitous, they're everywhere now. So there's no that's the way to go. And there's some cards like I got a USA card there's no transaction fees at all, which is very nice.
All right, everybody. You know, the name of our show is called The Wingmen Show, and that's because we always highlight somebody looking after somebody else. And that's what a wingman is. They go behind you and they check out your six so nothing's happening to you, and they're right there whenever you need them. So let's do this wingman story. It happened at Ramstein Air Base in Germany. Two young airmen, Anthony Palacio and Austin Irving, were assigned to the same maintenance unit. Nothing dramatic, just another day on duty. But one of them, Palacio, started to notice something was off. His wingman, usually upbeat, seemed quite distant, like the light had gone out behind his eyes. And instead of ignoring it, Palacio leaned in, he took him for coffee, cracked a few jokes, and asked the right questions at the right time. That simple act opened the floodgates. Irving admitted he had been planning to take his own life. Palacio didn't panic. He stayed calm, talked him through the darkness, got him help, and never left his side. It wasn't a jet in trouble, flak in the sky kind of rescue. It was quieter, but just as heroic, because being a wingman isn't always about air combat. It's about watching your brother's six when the enemy's inside his own head. And here's the best part. Airman Irving got the help he needed. He recovered, found his purpose again, and now speaks openly to other service members about mental health and resilience. The man who almost gave up now helps others keep flying. So the next time you say, I've got your six, remember, it doesn't just mean in the air, it means in life. What a great story that is, and what a great wingman that is. Well, everybody out there, if you can hear my voice, whatever is important to you, whatever is beautiful, and especially whatever makes you happy, may you have all of that today and forever. I pray for peace.
I pray for peace too, Commander Drew, and wishing you a continued good voyage. We appreciate all those who listen, like, and share our message. Please become a subscriber. Click the subscribe button. That way you'll get a notification when we put out a new episode, and you can move forward as we move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again, Dr. Paul Thompson, my friend. Thank you for your love, your time, and that's something that we won't ever get back. I want to thank all the listeners, too. Thank you so much for doing the show, Dr. Paul. We're jamming.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drew, for inviting me on. Always good to talk to you. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast or any of the podcasts. If you're looking at YouTube, they say smash the like button. Don't smash it. Just press it gently and refer to use as a link to all your friends. You can also look at us on our website, wingmenshow.com, WINGMEN show, SHOW.com, altogether, wingmenshow.com. And we hope to see you in the future. Thanks again, Mr. Drew.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're still floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you badass jet pilots, rumble. May there be peace on earth and goodwill towards all men and women.